What's going on, guys? There's a really common question that I get for people looking to improve their house. It's always going to be my best answer is going to be, hey, they're going to spend a ton of money or they're going to spend a little bit of money. What are some of the best things you could do to improve your house? And I'll always say it's going to be renovating or updating the bathrooms and the kitchen. Those are always going to be the top sellers. You could do as simple as paint and replacing some fixtures, or you could do a full remodel. And here's a video of just some of what it takes to when you dive into that. Here's an really old bathroom, built really well but very old, and we're going to start with the demolition, which is just removing all the old materials and getting it out, and you can see what it really takes to get in there. If you're ever going to take this on, and to give you an idea of what you're getting into, some are a little easier with sheetrock, some are like this one, it's going to be a little harder, which we're plaster, lath walls, lots of tile, lots of cement, just heavy back-breaking work. And when you get into this project, you should always have a budget in mind and have an idea if you're going to change the layout or keep it the way it is. If you keep it the way it is, it's going to be less expensive. You don't have to move the water line or the waste lines around from either the toilet, the sink lines, the shower lines, the shower drain. That's always going to get expensive when you start moving that stuff around. As I'm watching this and kind of like discussing what I'm doing here, one of the things I want you to pay attention is, like, when I'm shoveling the debris into the garbage can, I'm not just throwing it in there causing more dust. I'm placing it in there as nicely as I can to create as less dust as possible, because no matter what, it's going to be dirty, but you want to keep the dust down as best you can. You can really see here how I'm attacking the demo, and I'm taking it out piece by piece. I'm making a mess, but it's also kind of a controlled mess. You don't just want to go in there and start breaking everything, and because then you're going to get problems either on the other side of the walls, downstairs. You can start breaking the water lines. You can cause more work. So it's kind of you still have to be methodical about when you're removing these items. So you need to have the proper tools, the proper proper plan on how you're going to attack this. And if you're kind of looking at the video, you could see I'm just doing little by little. Okay, stuff's coming out in chunks, folding it up, carrying it out by hand, or putting it in a garbage can, putting it on a hand truck, and wheeling it. In this case, we're on the second floor, and I got to move it, take it downstairs around the house to get to the dumpster. So it's backbreaking, but it's got to be done. So I've got some tools that are utilized, and I'm wearing my protective gear here, you can see, but I'm always trying to keep the dust down as best I can, because it's old. You don't want to be breathing that stuff, and you don't want it to get around the houses. You want to keep it down as best you can. It's going to happen, but you're just trying to keep it down. I got a fan in the window. Okay, you can see I'm just going little by little. As much as I'm using, manhandling a lot of things, it's still little by little. I'm just breaking it out in pieces. I don't want to cause any more damage to the water lines that are on there. And when I started, I started with the small things, the small little fixtures, the molding around the doors, maybe taking take the trim off, take off the towel bar holders, take out the sink, cap the water lines, maybe turn off all the water to the house entirely, but I usually just cap the water lines. Okay, take out the toilet, put a rag down in the toilet drain, that way you don't fill up that line with a bunch of garbage, okay, and have to try to fish it out later. So same thing with the sink line, not the sink drain, the sink drain and the shower drain or the tub drain. Block those off so you don't have excess debris going down there. Okay, then you start pulling off little by little. I went to the walls, from the ceiling down to the walls. I'll take the ceiling down and the walls down first. That way it's still easy to sweep up on the tile floor versus the subfloor, which is a little harder. The last thing I'm gonna do is take out the floor and then the tub. And you can see here, I actually have a custom-made ripping tool there. That pry bar it's actually really heavy, but that mass makes it really helpful. I'm not trying to bash the ground, the tile floor down, causing more problems downstairs. being gentle with it as best I can, and just it comes out. I fold it up. The mesh that's in between it there, in between the concrete, really kind of holds it together. I'll carry it out in chunks or put it in a garbage can and just wheel it out. And when I'm getting to the water lines here and the waste line by the toilet, you can see I'm taking my time, chipping around the lines. That way I'm not breaking them, and slowly pulling it out. If you need to use a little jackhammer, something like a chipping hammer or a rotary chipping hammer, use one of those to get it started, to get the edges, the corners started, and you can get underneath it with a shovel, flat bar, and hammer, and a nice ripping tool. You can really get it out. All right, so here we have a cast iron tub. Pretty much this whole bathroom is a worst case scenario. Everything's heavy, and cast iron tub is about 350 pounds. A steel tub is going to be much lighter, or a fiberglass tub is going to be real easy, or a shower is going to be just like taking out the tile floor that you saw here. Cast iron tub, you got to get it out of position, because the easiest way you're going to handle this thing is you're going to break it. You're going to break it with a sledgehammer, and you have to get it away from the walls. That way you don't damage the walls while you're smacking it with a heavy sledgehammer. So here I'm just methodically lifting it up, try not to drop it on the water lines or drop it and hurt the subfloor or anything down on the first floor. And you want to get some eye pro. The little shards that fly off this thing are sharp. And you want to get some ear protection if you have, because actually I left right there to get some because it's so loud when you start hitting this thing. So I'm just going to hit it in certain positions, certain spots, like right down the middle and the corners, just to get it to start to break. Eventually it'll just break into pieces. You can break it up as much as you want, but I'm just going to break it in half here, and then I'm going to put it on a hand truck and wheel it out the house. So you can do it all by myself. And when you have a new cast iron tub come in, the plumber is going to come in with a couple guys, or you're going to help with a couple guys, or have a hand truck that has a feature that helps it carry up the stairs. But this is an old one. It's easiest just to break it in half, put it on the hand truck, wheel it down the stairs, and get it out. And this, just so you guys are aware, this is a very common practice, but this is kind of a worst case scenario bathroom. Everything is heavy, tons of concrete, tons of plaster, tons of debris, but you never know. If you're going to get into a project like this is what you have to be ready for. It's just a lot of work. Now you're just going to clean up really well, sweep up, vacuum up everything, and look around, see what needs to be repaired. Sometimes it's the subfloor. You maybe want to screw down the subfloor, get rid of the squeaks, repair some 2x4s, things like that, and get ready for the next phase of roughing in the new plumbing, the new electric, and really kind of laying out your new plan. And then that's kind of where you're going to go from there, is start the next phase. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave some comments. I'll get back to you. But I'll catch you guys on the next one.